Alright, here we go. Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? My name's Louis Baton, and thank you for stopping by. In case you're wondering if you've come to the right place, let me give you a little clue. You have. So, as I said, my name's Louis Baton, and I'm an Australian progressive left-wing streamer. Talk about stuff like, workers' rights, minority rights in particular, trans and indigenous rights. Also like to talk about masculinity quite a bit. It's a topic of interest of mine. I like talking about what's hot when it comes to being a man, about what's not. So, it's pretty early my time down here in Australia, but I like to stream twice a day. In the morning, my time for the Americans, and then evening, my time for the Australians. An Australian stream for the Australians. They're usually more Australian centric in their focus. Had a really absolute banger stream. In fact, you should go check it out. You can go watch it over on my YouTube, because I don't just stream on Twitch. I stream on YouTube, and I do prepared content over on YouTube. And of course, the streams go up on YouTube at the same time. So you can go watch last night's. It is Australian focused, however, it's on a topic that you may have heard about. It's about a Australian YouTuber being sued by a politician, Friendly Geordies. You may have heard about it from Vosh. He's actually covered it, so thank him. I'd like to thank him for using his platform to help highlight this injustice and attack on the freedom of the press. So yeah, I'm on the grind. Streaming twice a day, different topics. But no, hey, it's fun. I love it. All right, and if you're feeling so inclined, if you enjoy the stream, no pressure now, but if you do enjoy it as we go through, it would mean a lot if you chuck me a follow. Head over to YouTube and subscribe over there. Maybe jump over to Twitter, follow me over there as well. And hey, you can always join the Discord through the link down below. And you may have noticed that at the top right-hand corner of the screen, we have a dono goal. I don't ask a lot. I'm asking, for donations proportional to my channel size. Hey, help out and contribute some to buy me a pizza. The link to Streamlabs is also in the description, but there it is. There's the link anyway. So hey, not a big ask. I mean, I'm sure that you love pizza. I love pizza too. And right now, I don't have any money, and I mean none. Like $1.70 in my bank account to buy a pizza. So hey, help a guy out. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about. Whenever I start that sentence, I always want to say, like literally without fail, I always want to say that we're going to we have a fun topic today, or we're going to talk about some fun stuff. And it's never fun. Like I have in the tags evil characters because I don't think I've gone a stream without covering somebody morally reprehensible. I suppose last night, like John Barilaro was the evil character. Absolutely, yeah. It's just part of the game. I tend to cover people that are a bit shit. Unfortunately. Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. In the meantime, what's been going on? Oh, Stephen Crowder is beefing with Sam Cedar. That's been interesting. Demon Mama is doing a big Drama Mama special later today, so I'm gonna head over and check that out. A little bit later after the stream. It'll be some good content. You should head over there as well because Demon Mama's a good streamer. Yeah, I don't know. Feeling pretty good right now because I've been getting a lot more back into exercise. COVID has put a pretty heavy damper on that. But yesterday, yeah, had a good workout, so I'm feeling good. I'm ready to do it again today. And I also cleaned my entire house yesterday. So, yeah. It sounds cliche, but, clear house, clear mind. One of my favorite quotes, which I have no idea where it originates from, but anyway. Whenever I get depressed, I just clean my house. And hey, it's nice. I mean, you can see the vacuum in the shot, so That's my baby. That's my Dyson, alright? When you get to my age, you know that you're no longer a teenager and you're out of that like 21-year-old phase when you get excited over vacuum cleaners. I mean, that's just part of growing up. Oh, and how appropriate. I cleaned my whole house yesterday, which in America was Father's Day. So, how appropriate. Jordan Peterson, I did it. I cleaned my room. So all of my problems are solved now, right? Right? Yeah. Lewis's problems were not all solved now. But hey, there is a small problem that you could help out. If you got a couple of extra bucks, push it through to buy me a pizza. I haven't had a pizza in about, a week and a half, I think? Maybe 2 weeks? Yeah. I've been living off cereal the last few days. Ah! I definitely know that I'm back at university. Xander Hall is live? Oh, great, another streamer to compete with. Oh well, whatever. No shade. It just means that I have to work extra hard to develop an audience of my own. I know, that's the thing about streaming, is that this is like, get off on a little bit of a tangent here. So, I think a lot of people, I don't know, don't understand the approach of streaming. I think a lot of people think it's going to be really easy and get an audience straight away. People look at people like Vosh, who was able to piggyback a lot from Destiny's audience to give him a really big boost at the start. But the thing is, like, so many people don't make it. We just have to keep it up. You have to stream consistently. That's why I stream twice a day, which admittedly I have only been doing the last few days after taking like a 2-month break after, there was a whole bunch of drama at university that I had to get sorted out, alright? I got involved in student representation, and some other people got elected as well, and they were in it for themselves. I had to try and stop them, so my focus did shift. But despite the struggles of being a small streamer, money being one of them, I love it. I love going back and forth with the chat. I love it when there's conservatives in the chat because we always have a good time. Last night, in the middle of the stream, I got brigaded by a bunch of Nazis. They all started coming in with fairly innocuous names to start, but all of their names were like SS underscore respect the leader. So it's not too on the nose. But after like the second or third one came in, I was like, I said like, hey guys, like, I don't want to cast any aspersions, but like, when I see SS, I think of like stormtroopers, so like, what's going on? It's not, I mean, like, I'm not like, not pointing any accusations. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying, like, that's where my mind goes when I see SS, and they're like, oh no, it means steamship. I'm like, okay. But then, their names started getting, like, there was like 5 or 6 or even 7 of them that kept coming in and kept following. But like, by the 6th or 7th one, their names were like, Rob the Native. So I'm like, okay, I know what this is now. I've just noticed that the frame rate is a little bit dropping, so thank you for that, Streamlabs. wonderful as always. Probably because I dared to go into a close-up. It's done that before. So hopefully it chills out and we can actually have a proper stream without it, you know, being choppy as fuck. Oh, but here's the thing. That's another thing about the stream. I need a new computer. Now, while I am not asking for much, at some stage I do need to see about getting a new computer because this one is just not for streaming. Which I find, I don't know, a little bit hard to believe. It's not a bad laptop. It's not the best. But there you go, can't handle it. Most of the time. Oh, hang on, no, well, some of the time it's just fine, but there's some glaring problems. So if you're feeling generous and, you know, maybe want to buy me more than a few pizzas, I can put some money together and get a new computer. I'm on uni holidays at the moment, so I do have a part-time job. Try and work more than 2 or 3 days a week. See if I can't get work 5 days. Although I was already told this week that, you know, the work this weekend is already filled. Thanks. I think that'll be the 4th week now that I haven't worked. Owing to a lockdown, sure, but like now that that's over, it'd be nice to actually work. Oh well. You never know. Hopefully I can just work as much as I can over the next few weeks, over the holidays. Alright, anyhow. Oh, excuse me. Huh. I think I've droned on enough. Maybe we should get to some content. So, as the title would suggest, let's talk about Hungary. So, this is from the Daily Wire. Hungarian Parliament passes law banning showing LGBT content to minors. Now, if you don't know anything about Eastern Europe, it's skewed pretty far right. In fact, a lot of Europe has. By Charlotte Pence Bond. Interesting. Who's that? Now, I don't know if we'll read the full article, but let's get an idea of what's happening. Lawmakers in Hungary passed a law Tuesday that would prohibit showing LGBT and transgender content. What do you think the oh my god. Okay, these people are that dumb. Would prohibit showing LGBT and transgender content to minors as part of legislation to combat pedophilia. Pedophilia. Interesting. That's what's driving this law when it comes to banning LGBT content. Where have I heard that same fear-mongering before? The ruling Conservative Party, to which Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban belongs, introduced the measure, and the National Assembly passed the legislation with 157 to 1, with a 157 to 1 vote. Ridiculous. One independent lawmaker voted against it. Jesus Christ. The other opposition parties reportedly didn't show up to the voting session as a form of protesting the legislation. I don't... Like, this is the thing. Like, they do this in the Australian Parliament as well, on both sides. And this is cowardly. Put on the record that you were for or against something. is that Caspar? Saba? Saba Demota? The Fidesz State Secretary said the goal is the protection of children, noting the inclusion of a social database of convicted pedophiles as part of the update. Well, what's this got to do with LGBT people? Huh. Anyway, I don't know. We get the idea. You know, we don't really need to go through the full thing. We get the idea. Same old fear-mongering. Same old shit like, you know, all gays are pedophiles. It's like, oh, I should have pulled it because I saw a fucking Stone Toss comic make the same argument yesterday. Anyway, so about this kind of shit, there's nothing explicit about LGBT people. LGBT people are not explicitly sexual. In the same way that heterosexual, like learning, like sex ed, like heterosexual sex ed, is not explicitly sexual. LGBT sex ed is also not explicitly sexual. And even like, forget like sex ed, just learning about the different kind of people that live in your society. You know, learning about gender and gender norms. That's not sexual. It's the same fear-mongering about just all gays are pedophiles and that, like, we need to protect... Here we go. I found the Timeless Pinkwug, if it will open, the Timeless Pinkwug comic, or meme, on my computer. We shouldn't normalize a mental illness. It's a lifestyle. It's a social contagion. Exclusion by feminists, locker room panic, weaponized suicide statistics. Doesn't say anything about children here. It's all recycled bigotry. It always has been. Because that's the thing. These people don't have any arguments. It's just fear-mongering about think of the children. And it's really boring. There's nothing... Uh-oh. Preview's dying. Oops. There's nothing sexual about LGBT people inherently, just like there's nothing sexual about cishet people inherently. Oops, didn't realize I was doing that on camera. Sorry, I was trying to figure out why it was lagging. Anywho, the reason I actually wanted to talk about this is not because of Hungary itself. Hungary's fucked. I wanted to talk about the interesting replies on the Daily Wire post when they shared this story. Now, I said on stream, I don't know, a few days ago, that I've never had a bad take on Twitter, and I stand by that. And you can see my absolute banger response to this story. Everyone replying with good would be the same people against racially integrated schools back in the day. And as you can see, the Conservatives weren't happy about that. But it's true. Let's read through some of this shit. This first comment, I think it's actually like against the ban. How about we just stop showing sexualized or sexually based content to minors in general? LGBT people are not explicitly sexual. But the US is the most intolerant country. Well, no, you won't hear everyone... Like, anyone who says that is terminally online or just way too, like, just anti-US. Look, here we go. A lot of people might think that it's a win. It's actually a loss that we have to pass laws for things like that instead of it being common sense. Okay, you had us in the first half. Oh no, they're going to cancel Hungary, says the political aisle that always engages in cancel culture. Even Hungary has common sense, thank God. Good, too young for that crap. I'm sorry, but there's gay kids, there's bi kids, there's trans kids, there's ace kids, and so on. There's nothing... This isn't showing explicit content to children. Children need to be educated about the kind of people that live in their society and the kind of people that they might be but just don't know because cishet normativity is so normalized. Remove all heterosexual relationships too. They're too young for that crap. Indeed! Finally, a nation of common sense. Damn good, amazing, smart people. Kids don't need perversion education. Oh boy, do we have any spicy, like, show hidden replies? This may contain offensive content. Oh, okay, well, this is what I mean. My computer can't handle... Oh, there we go, okay. Okay, it's... Okay, there we go, okay. I don't really see a problem with this. Kids are so impressionable, so I understand not forcing things like LGBT on them. I don't want to get too much into this topic, but this kind of shit really makes me lean towards the militant aspect of Pride. When people talk about, like, Pride needs to be like a happy festival that's welcoming people, this kind of shit really, I don't know, for me at least, reinforces the need for it to still have that protest element. Because people like this still see LGBT people as just inherently perverted. Inherently, like, it's just the degeneracy argument. Like, if you ask these people what was wrong with it, they wouldn't be able to tell you. They would just tell, like, they'll just fall back on intuition. Just, oh, it's degenerate. Why? Just because it's against God or some shit like that. Okay, I'm a conservative, and this is where I feel a lot of conservatives go wrong. It is okay to educate kids about homosexuality. They need to understand the world. You can educate without promoting something. Oh, like we promote heterosexuality constantly, day in, day out? Fuck. This is like, this is the thing about understanding society. People like this don't realize how entrenched cishet normativity is. They don't realize just how, like, normal and how much how much cishet normativity is defaulted to. Like, they don't realize that it's such the norm, and that, like, when you talk about stuff like you can educate without promoting, like, completely just head empty, no thoughts. But, like, to be fair though, these same people are against any kind of sex ed. Like, the thing is, like, what I said before, like, LGBT, like, you can educate people on LGBT stuff without it being LGBT, like, sex education. People don't need to learn about cisgender or heterosexuality because it's just the norm. But they do need to learn about just not, like, any, like, non-sex ed LGBT education, because that's not the norm. And if people grow up not knowing that that's out there, not knowing that they might be a member of the community, and that the members of the community that live in their country are just as deserving of respect as they are, I mean, then they grow up to be people like this. I saw, I didn't pull it, but I saw, you might have seen, there's a video going around of, I think it's a mum at a PTA, and she's complaining about anal sex being taught in sex ed. And she's like, well, why are we teaching this? Hello? I hate to break it to you, but some kids have anal sex. If you have two 16-year-old guys and they want to have sex, like actual intercourse, how do you think they're going to do it? One of them's not going to miraculously grow a vagina. So, kids, like, in terms of non-sex ed education, absolutely, kids need to learn about the LGBT community, because they might be part of it. And if they don't know they're part of it, then I mean, they might spend a lot of years wondering why they don't fit in. Not might, they will. If they're part of the community, that's what happens. Kids and then grow up to be adults in denial, or don't know that they're gay, don't know that they're trans, and they just get confused, and honestly, it harms people because, you know, they're being told that they need to fill a certain box, which they've been taught in school, this is the box you fit into, and they don't feel like they do. And it kills people. People kill themselves because they don't fit into this box. They get rejected by their families, fired from their jobs, discriminated in public. If all of these people in the comments section had received an education on LGBT people, then they wouldn't be saying this. There was one other thing before I moved on. The fuck was it? I'm really scatterbrained today because it's early in the morning. I've just woken up. Hey, if you're enjoying the stream, I can't remember. Anyway, I would have addressed, like, because a lot of the conservatives, the problem that they had with my response was like, oh, there's no comparison between race and sexuality. Let me just go back to my take. Hopefully it loads. Everyone applying with good would be the same people against racially integrated schools back in the day. Now, what I mean by this is that, as we saw in the Pink Bug comic, it's the same argument. It's like this argument about when bathrooms were going to be racially integrated. You know, like, talking about how black women will corrupt white women. It's these same arguments. If these people were alive 50, 60, 70 years ago, however long before desegregation, I'm not American, sorry, but I mean, same in Australia, these would be the same people who would be arguing, no, we can't racially integrate schools because they will corrupt our children. This is, you know, like, there's certain aspects of the black community that is degenerate and that we can't have that around our children. It's the same argument. These are the same people who, for the last few hundred years, have been pushing back against the Enlightenment values. In every age, these same people exist. We have something, you know, as society continues to progress forward, and there's always people intent on pushing back on that. And it's so boring. You've been losing the culture war since the Enlightenment. Stop! Oh. Yeah. It's really boring. I'm sorry, I said just woken up, so... Yeah. Daily Wire, you suck for propagating this lie. If you're LGBT and you're in Europe, if you can, get the fuck out. Go to New Zealand if you can. Seriously. Don't come to Australia, because Australia is not far behind Hungary. We've already had Australian politicians introducing the same kind of bills in America, like attempting to ban CRT from the school curriculum, even though it was never on the curriculum. And these are the same people who supposedly support free speech. Curious. But anywho, the stream is being a little bit laggy. I didn't have anything else to cover. I don't know, unless anyone has any hot takes they'd like to throw out. If not, it's a bit of a short stream. I should have pulled more. I'm sorry. Ugh, sorry. It's 8:20 in the morning, alright? I woke up at 6. Stayed in bed for like an hour on my phone, but anyway. Oh, if not, I think I'm gonna head out. Thank you all very much for coming. I'm Louis Baton. If you like the stream, please consider chucking me a follow, heading over to YouTube and subscribing there, going down over to Twitter and following me there, joining the Discord through the link down below, and if you've got a couple of extra dollars lying around, then You can always donate to Streamlabs. The Streamlabs link is in my description. Buy me a pizza. That's all I ask. Not a big ask. Thank you all, and have a good one.